Welcome to the NBTLT podcast with your guides to this magical journey, Lon and Zumi.
Welcome to another episode of the NBTLT podcast, the only podcast that makes the Blue Whale Challenge look like an STD. Now, I am joined here by Stelly because Lonnie apparently lost his voice again. Yeah, he's I guess he's been like receiving way too many male juice.
Been on his knees too much.
He's been working hard.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
So Stelly, you don't sound that well either.
Yeah, no, we've both got the cold. I think he got it worse than me,
But you know, rather than leaving you guys with just me talking by myself, rambling for about a fucking hour, you know, I have Stelly, so this should be a fun one.
hopefully.
So, what's going on?
Not much. Crazy busy week.
Did you guys do any Gringo de Mayo celebrating?
No. No.
I'm doing my Gringo de Mayo celebrating today. Or tonight, actually.
Is it not the 5th?
No, today's my baby's birthday. He turned 1. He's 1 year old now. He's a 1 year old.
Happy birthday, Sid.
And they're gonna have the Canelo and Chavez Jr. fight here pretty soon. I'm actually running the fight as I'm recording. It hasn't started yet, but the thing here in Mexico is that there's no like restrictions, like you know, you don't have to pay for fights. They stream him in public networks, and there's only like a 5 to 10 second delay.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, so you don't have to pay. You don't have to like HBO it or pay-per-view or or whatever
Right.
whatever it is that they have in the States. So it should be fun. I think Canelo's gonna win.
I wouldn't know. I don't keep up on boxing.
Yeah, well, these are like the last ones that I'm following. Like after like watching so many fights and just like the way they score points or like the judges, you know,
Yeah.
they don't really have to explain themselves on how they're like rating the fight and stuff.
Right.
It's like, no, it's just so. It's like American Idol.
Right.
You know?
It's Hollywoodized.
Yeah. So, so yeah. So I'll keep you updated as soon as the fight starts.
Thanks.
But yeah, and I call it Gringo de Mayo because nobody in Mexico celebrates this. It's not a holiday for us.
Right. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, an American platoon or troop or whatever, they helped out to the Mexicans to kick out the French out of the country. So well, that's why it's more popular in the States rather than in Mexico.
Okay.
Like we don't give a shit about Puebla.
I thought it was just another, holiday to drink. So.
Well, it is in the States, but here, like, you don't hear anybody saying like, oh, where are we going for Cinco de Mayo? It's like, it's like I'm staying at home, I guess.
Right.
But some schools, like high schools and below, don't have class because they just like to take days off. So.
Mhm.
But
that's cool though.
Yeah. So, just following on last week, my puppy's okay now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I did have another death in the family.
Aww.
Yeah, it's it kind of sucked because it happened on Friday. We went to the zoo on Saturday, right?
Uh-huh.
And then that's when like we recorded, and Sunday afternoon, like my brother called me, and I went to my mom's house, and he's just like, yeah, like cousin Ray passed away, and it's just like, I'm like, when did this happen? It's like Friday, and I'm here. It's like, but we knew you were going out, so we didn't want to like, you know,
Ruin your fun.
yeah.
Mm.
Which I mean, I appreciate it, but the other part of me was like, damn, like I wish you guys wouldn't have decided that for me.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
but anyway, but he was old though, right? So I can't really complain. And I will say, like, he had a really poetic death, and I kind of want to share that
Go for
tonight, because it's a really interesting story. So he's an acupuncturist, right? And I don't know. I think I've told Lonnie. I don't know if I told you, but before I joined the Air Force and when I was in high school, we used to go once a month. He would come to TJ, and he would volunteer time to this. What's it called? It's called like in Spanish, like Casa de los Pobres, which is the house of the poor.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a charity, like a church where they take like the homeless for the night or whatever, and so he would give free treatments to just anybody who would show up, and I actually saw a man in a wheelchair that was like had his right arm paralyzed in like a span of a year, like have full range of motion on his arm.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was I mean, it was really, really cool. But I remember when like during high school, I was the rebel of like the house, like the black sheep, you could say.
Yeah.
So my mom and dad would say like, oh, we're gonna go see, you know, cousin Ray. You want to go? And I would always say no. Like, I don't want to fucking go to TJ, like spend my Friday night. Like I got better things to do as a teenager, you know.
Yeah.
And I would actually get mad because everybody would like pressure me into like going, and I'm like, no, I'm not fucking going. And then one day, I don't know what happened. I think my mom was just not gonna deal with my shit, and she made me go. Right, and all I've heard before from cousin Ray was he puts needles in people. I didn't know what acupuncture was, so anyways, I went, and like after they're done with the treatments and all that stuff, he would take the family to this Chinese restaurant, and the food was amazing. So after that, I actually started going for the food. Right. So
yes.
So, but you know, like what on one occasion, I had a really, really bad headache, and you know, my mom was like, "Oh, you should go in. You just go in with Ray." And I'm like, "Well, but you know, the needles and stuff. Like I'm, you know, like a lot of people are scared of needles. Like, and at the time, I was like, no, it's like I know how injections feel. Like, no, and they're like, no, it's nothing like that. You don't even feel it. They don't hurt." And I'm like, I wasn't buying it, and I don't know how or like who convinced me, and I went inside. And so he's like, oh, you're like, I'm like, yeah, I got a headache on my right side, and he's just like looked at me, he's like, okay. And so he's doing like the whole breathe in, breathe out, and then he's like, you feel that? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, breathe in, breathe out, you feel that? And I'm like, no. And then he goes and puts one like right in my forehead.
Oh my god.
And he's like, breathe in. And I breathe out, and it's like, boom, and it's like, do you feel that? And I'm like, no. And it's just like a needle sticking, right? And it's just like wobbling, and I'm like, no, I actually don't feel that. And he's like, how's your headache? And I'm like, I don't have a headache anymore.
Wow.
So he's like, okay, we're just gonna leave you there for like 5 to 10 minutes or whatever, and I'll be back. And I'm like, okay. So the entire time there's like just a needle like moving, and I'm like, that looks like it's supposed to hurt. It's a long needle, but so afterwards, like anytime I had an injury or whatever, like I would go with him and just get free acupuncture treatment and and free Chinese food. But one of the things that about Cousin Ray was that he was like the happiest guy on earth. Like you would never see him angry. He would always like smile, and he would talk to anybody. And he was like saying like how he went to TJ and he just started walking, right? And it's like really, really late, and there's like no cabs and stuff, and the cops stopped. And these are like Mexican cops, so like you're like, oh shit, But but they asked him like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, and it's like, oh, he's like saying like, taxi, esperando taxi, like taxi. and the guys was like, oh no, like there's not gonna be like any cabs. Like, where are you going? He's like, I just want to go to the border. And the guy's like, he's like, they're just like, hop in. And he's like talking to all of them, like he's known them for like years. And then after they drop him off, he just like gives him $20 and he's like, oh, cervezas, muchachos, cervezas. And he's just like, and we were like looking, like hearing the story, and we're just looking at him like, no, you don't do that. Like you don't, like one, you don't get directions from cops, and you don't get rides from cops like that. And like two, like you don't give him money to tell him like go get some beers. but no, he would do it. And
crazy.
And like I said, it's poetic because from what I heard is he on Thursday he went in and he actually gave a treatment. Mm-hmm. And then he came home, had dinner with the family, and he was just like, you know what, I'm going to bed. I feel really, really tired. I just feel exhausted. And the following day, like it's just he passed away while he was sleeping. So
good way to go.
Yeah, and I say poetic because he went and gave one last treatment, and it was just like,
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just like I just want to say like you kind of, you don't expect it, but I mean when we think about it, it's like he's like he must be like must have been like in his 70s, but when you looked at him, like he had so much energy, like you wouldn't see somebody more like in their like late 50s or whatever. Yeah, like right. He had like the good Japanese gene,
right?
Yeah. So, I promise this will get better.
My condolences, Zumi.
Thank you. So we'll have his memorial service next week in LA. So, but
good memories.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't think of a single time that we didn't talk to Cousin Rainey and he wasn't like laughing or had like a story, like a funny story to tell, or like a little adventure, And he used to be a pilot. He and it's I don't know. The world is a little bit shittier without him, but it's kind of like our job to like make it better. So
yeah.
So what do you got going on?
Not much really. Let's see. Yeah, not much. But you mentioned like the blue whale challenge in our introduction. What is that? We like Lonnie and I are like, what is that?
You never you honestly never heard about the blue whale challenge.
No.
Okay, so fuck, I don't even know if I should talk about the blue whale challenge because I don't know if everyone's like, oh, well, this person committed suicide and he heard it on the NBTLT podcast, and now we're facing a lawsuit.
Oh no!
Fuck it, whatever. So the blue whale challenge is I think the origins of it is like in like Russia. So there's like a group of administrators that made like a, I don't know if like a Facebook post or it's something fucking stupid, right? And essentially what they said or set up themselves up to do is to cleanse the world of the morons. So
okay.
So what they did is it's called the blue whale challenge because of the I guess like how they club whales and stuff or kill blue whales, something like that. I really don't remember what the relationship with the blue whale is, but it consists of this. They'll give you 50 challenges throughout. I don't know if it's like 50 challenges for 50 days, right?
Uh-huh.
And they get progressively worse. So, like the challenge is to like cut yourself, or cut a tattoo of a blue whale, and take a picture and send it to the administrator just to show that you've seen it. Waking up at odd hours of the night and then watching like horror movies, like doing certain tasks that involve like mutilating yourself, or going to like a building and just standing there, and then you're sitting, right? And then they get like heavier and heavier, and the whole entire time you're like, you have an administrator like monitoring you and essentially rating whether or not you're like a true blue whale.
Oh
and
my gosh.
like I guess the final challenge is to go to that building that you selected, and then they tell you to commit suicide, just kill yourself.
But you're not supposed to, really.
No, yeah, that's the that's the challenge. That's
wow.
And I guess it's been a problem in Russia, in the UK, and it's come to Mexico.
Wow.
So
wasn't there something on Facebook? I swear I just saw something on Facebook about the kid who killed himself.
So
and she like showed a picture of the blue whale that he did on his.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the blue whale challenge. I guess he completed it, but
oh my god,
you know, like, yeah, it's fucked up. But then the other thing is, like, if you're really gonna like let yourself manipulate by somebody else for 50 days and torture yourself, you're a fucking moron. You kind of deserve it.
I get it now. That's why they want to weed out the morons. Oh, that's evil.
Yeah,
that's just
I know, and like I said, I'm sorry, I can't be extremely political correct about this. It's just like, you're a fucking moron. Like, get help or something. I don't fucking listen to these guys that are telling you to like hurt yourself and then kill yourself and then do it. No.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
You know, I actually, if you're like a blue whale guy or gal, because I guess girls are doing it too, and then you jump out of that building and you survive.
Ugh.
Can you imagine that?
You could be a vegetable.
Yeah, it's like, you kind of deserve it, you know?
Wow.
And if that's what it takes for you to like find out that you're actually worth more than what these guys are setting you up for, then you know, you got issues. It's your own goddamn problem.
Somebody's got some really low self-esteem
no.
to just do whatever
like,
somebody tells them to do.
You're worth more than that. Like, don't. Yeah. And these fucking people like should be castrated, I think. The so-called administrators.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody should put people through that stuff. And then again, no one should put themselves into that situation. It's just
That's dumb.
So that's the blue whale challenge for me.
Okay. That's kind of depressing.
It's pretty. It'll get better. I promise. It'll get better. It'll get better.
Ugh.
So yeah, the blue whale challenge. It's yeah.
Don't do it.
You're a fucking moron if you like follow that thing.
Exactly. Just dumb. That just no. Mm-mm.
So school.
Okay. School really sucks right now. I don't know. We've been so busy and I'm not finding the time to get anything done. So I'm just like, fuck it. Not doing it. My teacher is actually really hard ass this year. Or this term. Most of the rest of my teachers are just like, yeah, whatever, I'll give you full credit even though it's like a week late. This one's like, review the policies. Da-da-da-da. Like, she's so nitpicky about everything, but that's okay. I'm almost done. This is my 5th term. Got one more to go.
One more and you graduate? You're done?
Yep.
All right.
For now. For now. But speaking of teachers, I could kill my husband's teacher. I just want to call her all kinds of really bad names. I can't stand her.
Why?
Because she locks... Okay, so he's online, right? Doing online courses. When you do online courses, like, you are doing it at a time when you are able to do it. You have family and you've got work and whatever else is going on in your life, like appointments and everything. And then online, you're just supposed to be able to do it when you want to. That's the one of the huge advantages of doing school online. Otherwise, you go to school if you had the time. But his teacher she locks out the class at like 9:30 every night so nobody can post anything. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, these people, they get up at like 6 in the morning to get their kids ready, go to school, have a job, come home, and then they've got, picking up their kids, they're making dinner, they're doing everything they got to do, and then they get to do homework, and that's probably around the time they get to actually sit down and do it. And she just locks everybody out of the discussions and stuff.
But that's something they can bring up, right? Because if that's not policy... Like, the policy is that it's supposed to open. Yeah. Like, you can actually go and rat him out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I told Lonnie, I said, you better call the school on Monday or I'm going to do it, because she can't do that. It's not even in her policies. Like, anywhere in, her little class, whatever that she expects, her expectation list and all that kind of stuff, there's nowhere in there that says she's going to close classes or lock them out at a certain time every day or whatever. Like, she just does it.
No, I'm pretty sure you can fight that.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't...
At least get her, like, that slap in the hand and so she doesn't do it again.
Right. Because that's what I'm saying. I'm like, how is anybody supposed to do anything if it's only open from like 8 to 9:30 every day or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean...
No, yeah,
there's probably half the class is probably lazy, kids just going to online and not in school, but...
Right, but like, if she's gonna preach, follow policies and all that shit, then she should lead by example, not just the ones that are convenient to her,
This woman thinks she's God.
I had a teacher like that, and it's like, the saddest part is like, it's fucking psychology 101, and she has a. I sort of got, like, the higher the degree, the dumber you fucking get.
Probably, yeah. No, this woman is like, she's a breast cancer survivor, and she's an English teacher. So, like, everything she says and does is right, even though she has grammatical errors on all her posts. And she tears Lonnie's work apart and basically makes it the same damn thing, but only in her own words. She's horrible.
Liberal, by any chance?
Can't stand her. I don't know. Probably. She looks very liberal. But you can't judge a book by its cover. So. But yeah.
Is that I don't know, I can't remember. Lonnie does it's like national, right? It's just one class per like every.
Yeah.
You do the same.
Per
You
term.
do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
No.
No. I have 2 classes, but I have 2 or whatever. My terms are longer than his. So.
Yeah. Well, at least he's only dealing with one shitty teacher and not 2 at the same time.
Oh, I know. And then you should see her workload. Like, she's got all these books on there that they're supposed to read, and each book has like 500 to 750 words or pages in it. Like, they're huge books that they're supposed to be reading.
Yeah.
On top of,
I think in my entire time in college, I read 2 books cover to cover. It's just 2, you know. I had on the 4 years of college or whatever, and one was on development, like child development. So, and I read it because I just had we just had Axel, so it was kind of like, you know.
Right, yeah.
So that's why I read it. And the other one was it was for, I guess, my major for sports psychology. So I read that one cover to cover. But, you know, I was like, that's what I want to do. Yeah, everything else, like all the testing and all that stuff, I would just like get the PowerPoint slides and I would just study the PowerPoint slides. To be honest, that's all I did. I was just like,
you're lucky.
So,
no, we actually we do study guides and stuff, and it all comes out of our books. So, I pretty much read all my books.
You know,
as boring as they are.
You know, like one of them were like if you ask a teacher, like make sure you have a recorder, right? Like something to record, like on the first day of class, and just when they're talking about the test and all that stuff, just tell them like what would be a good test question, and they'll usually tell you, and then you just gotta go in the book and find like that kind of like reference that they just said. You'll ace them every single time.
There you go. How to ace your classes with one
just
question.
Ask them, like, what would be a good question, a good test question for you? And they'll get into it, like, oh, something along like these lines or this or that. Maybe something like that's important, like dates. And then if they mention that, then it's like you're like screwed. You're like, fuck, I gotta learn dates. But you just find important dates, and you're like, okay, that's gonna be a test question.
Why are numbers so much harder when you throw them in there?
Why? Because we don't.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the number, right?
Well, I guess maybe.
Like, for example, Cinco de Mayo is really easy to remember because it's the 5th month.
Well, you know, you grow up with it.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
So...
But think about how people make there's this technique called by association, right? Mm-hmm. So memorize things by association. For example, if I say country that looks like a boot, Italy automatically comes up, right? You'll never forget that because it's associated with something that's familiar to you,
right?
So if you wanna if you're like in history major, you want to remember dates and stuff, like the best way to do it is to associate it with something that looks like it.
Yeah.
or that you can have a similarity. Like we can do like a test on remembering like objects if you want.
Forget it.
It's really easy. So but you know, if you're interested in like increasing like your memory and all that stuff, I suggest you look up the Memory Palace.
The Memory Palace.
Just Google the Memory Palace and it'll give you the instructions how to do it. That shit actually works.
Sweet.
And it works really, really well. It's like scary good.
Yeah. Well, I watched this show on Netflix. I think it's on TV, but whatever. Called The Brain Games. Have you heard of that?
Oh, that one's good.
That's fun, but it really gets you like thinking. So like your brain starts working in different ways after they tell you these, tests and stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Oh, the fight's about to start. Yep, they're announcing. They're doing like the little intro thing.
You can't watch that. I can't talk alone.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I'm gonna like look up and down, up and down.
Don't get too distracted, Dewey.
I won't. Like, I think Canelo's gonna beat the shit out of Chavez Jr. To be honest.
Okay. I'll believe you.
He's gonna.
'Cause I don't know.
I mean, I hope. I don't know. I'm not a psychic, so.
Right. Yeah.
But in other news, my volleyball season ended.
Woot. Sad.
Yay! We got. I think we got league. My JV team. I think we won league.
Oh, cool.
We lost one match.
That's not bad at all.
No. I wanted the undefeated. I've only done it once in the past with my first freshman team.
Mm-hmm.
And haven't been able to do it since, but
This high school we're talking about?
yes, it's high school.
I got it.
But like I mentioned on the other podcast, we did win the white whale, which is La Jolla.
Yeah.
No other program has ever won the La Jolla tournament. So
Sweet.
we won that one.
Awesome.
So
Now I know.
I'm really happy to get my afternoons back.
There you go. That's
So-
positive.
So now I can actually focus on opening my site. Actually do some like Skype sessions, and I can gladly inform that the kid that I was working with that had Tourette's
Mhm.
hasn't shown those symptoms back anymore.
Awesome. Making a difference out there, Zumi.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah. So now we have CIF, so varsity still plays for the next 2 weeks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have to go to practice. I just got to show up to and watch a good games.
Get the easy part.
So, yeah, and we have it tough because our varsity is really good,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're gonna be in the open division, and here's the thing, like we're really good to the point where like we're just above everybody in Division 1.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not that good in the open division.
Oh.
So we're like the bottom tier, or towards the bottom tier than the open division.
Right. But
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if it was just like loss or games in a regular league in state division 1, we can easily have the CIF banner that says Division 1
Right.
CIF champions. But we rather not do that because if we're in open division, like that means the program is growing. So.
Right. Yeah.
Even though right now we're like supposed to be the team that's gonna lose like in the first round or two.
That's okay. At least you
Yeah.
got there.
So we're the underdogs
Yeah.
in open division, but we're the giants in Division 1.
But you can only get better.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So I'm glad that's over.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw. Did you see the post? I linked a the CBS or ABC News.
I didn't watch it, but I saw it. Like I kind of glanced through it. Like I fast forward through things of it. But
Okay, well, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. That's a kid that we had in our team.
oh, okay.
He has special needs,
Mhm.
and since his freshman year, he was like the team manager. So he would like bring water to like the other players and stuff. And this year was his senior year, and the head coach decided he's gonna play. So he went in to serve and stuff, and it was just amazing. Like the whole night was about him, and nobody will say this, but the other team's libero actually passed every single ball that he served, even though they were going out.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So, no, it means that, you know, when Peter would serve and the ball was going out, the libero on the other team would pass the ball just to keep it in play.
Oh, okay.
So it's not out, and you know they get the point.
Right. Okay.
So I know nobody's gonna give him like the recognition that he deserves, because it was all about Peter, right?
Right.
But I want to recognize him because he had some really good sportsmanship ethics. So
good.
And you know, and I actually went to him and thanked him, like, dude, like, thank you so much for doing that for him. And he was just like, no problem.
Awesome.
So yeah,
I'll have to go
these
watch
kids,
it.
yeah, these kids are learning something from sports. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do. I mean, that's what extracurricular activities are supposed to do for kids. Help shape them and mold them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Get
not
them off of drugs.
Well, you know, it's like I told my JV team, like, hey, like you volleyball to me is secondary. You know, like I teach through the sport, but you know, my job is to make you guys better human beings.
Right.
Than when we started the season. So
Yeah.
and I told him a couple couple of stories, and like the last one I told him was was this one that I've forgotten about this story actually. And you know, there's this lion, and the lion's just really, really hungry. He hasn't had any food in a while, right? And so while this lion is really, really hungry, he's not making like the best decisions. Like his mind's not there. He's just focusing on one thing. I'm hungry. I need food. Right. And then he sees out in the open a what's it called? It's like it's a bull, right?
Okay.
Like the male version of a cow.
Yeah.
But they're not cows. It's
They're
not
bulls.
a bull. So it's like an ox, right? What do they call those?
No, they're not an ox. They're bulls.
Well, no, I can't remember like the exact same, like the animal that's in the freaking jungle with lions.
Oh, you mean an ox?
I think it's an ox. Well, let's just make it. Well, whatever.
Or a buffalo, water buffalo.
No.
Don't they have water buffaloes?
No. You know, it's a bull. It's a bull. Let's just make it a bull, because the story like fits well with that. Anyways,
Okay.
so the lion sees the bull, and he's like, he's not making the best decision. He's just focusing on food. He just wants to, you know, he just wants to satisfy that need at the time, right?
Uh-huh.
And so he goes in, jumps, kills the prey, eats him, and he's like, belly is like super full, like when you like stuff yourself with those tortilla chips, and you're just like, ah.
Uh-huh.
And he yells. He's just like, "Rah!" You know, like, so good.
Yeah.
However, there's a hunter,
Huh.
and he hears that roar.
Right.
So hunter puts his sights in the lion, pops, ends up as a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the head ends up as a trophy for this hunter.
Right.
So, the moral of the story is this: if you're full of bull, don't open your mouth.
Got it. That's a good one.
So I was like, that's my last lesson to you for the season.
You're full of bull.
Yeah, don't open your mouth. And then I look at them, and they're just like looking at me like, Like, did he really just say that? And I'm like, do I need to explain this metaphor? And they're like, no, coach, it's pretty clear. I'm like, all right.
But they're not laughing about it. They're like,
no, I mean,
for real.
Yeah, they were just like, but you know, it made so much sense because they were expecting like something else. Like I was gonna like preach on like behavior or something like that. It was like,
Right.
no, it's just, you know,
Yeah.
you think you're ultra bright at this age. It's just you're not.
Yeah. Oh, those teenage years.
So I see that you wrote in being
I didn't write it. Lonnie wrote it.
Lonnie wrote it. Okay, so
Yeah.
Lonnie's calling you out on this.
Yeah.
So the subject is being left home while Lonnie's on deployment.
Yeah.
So how was that for you, Stilly?
It was interesting. Like, obviously, when you're dating him. So when I was dating Lonnie, it wasn't so.
I wasn't dating.
I know. I know. I was. When I was dating him, it wasn't so hard to be like, okay, like he's going away for a couple months. It's gonna be okay. Like, whatever. And I guess like I just didn't realize the gravity of the situation.
You didn't realize that 2 months is actually a long fucking time.
Well, that and like that I just couldn't talk to him all the time. That, you know, the phone, he had to go use the phones in a call center or whatever, you know. Like,
oh yeah, and that was a long fucking walk too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's like, the building across the street. It's like, no, it's like far
Right.
away.
Yeah.
And then there's people in line, and it's pretty fucked up sometimes because there's no, like, the phones are right next to each other. There's like maybe like a separator, like a piece of wood or something.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, I'll say this, like the most fucked up thing I've heard there was like a lady, or I think she was a sergeant. She's higher ranking.
Yeah.
And you could tell, or based on the conversation, there was like no doubt in my mind that the guy, like her spouse, had just told him that he was messing around.
Ugh.
And you would just hear like, you're supposed to be there for like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like that's like the limit of your call, right? Like 3 minutes or something. I can't remember. Like,
Yeah.
or maybe 15 minutes. It could be 15.
I don't think so. Lonnie wasn't there that long.
No.
No.
It was something really, really short.
Yeah.
But anyways, but all I heard is like, she's like, her voice is like cracking up, and she's like saying like, "Don't fucking tell me this right now. Don't tell me this. You know I'm deployed. Like, why would you fucking do this?" Again.
Awful.
Like, again.
Oh my God.
And it was like, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, no, thank God none of that happened.
Yeah, so sorry.
Yeah, no.
Sorry,
No.
like I digress.
But yeah, I guess I just didn't understand for the first one. I was just like, whatever. And then the next one was a little bit tougher, but we were getting married, and so like I was trying to figure all that stuff out, and then we like had to cram in, premarital counseling like right after he got home, and it was like 6 weeks from the time that he got home till the time that we were married. So it was like a 6-month premarital course jammed into 6 weeks. But that was difficult because I was making all these plans and doing all this stuff while he was on deployment. And then when we were married, that was the worst ever. I was just bawling my eyes out at work, and my boss was like, "It's going to be okay." And I'm like, "Thanks, but I don't want to talk to you. Just leave me alone. I'm trying to get through my day right now." But yeah, it's tough. And then, of course, I had my Bailey Boo when we got married, and she kept me safe. She was good doggy. in that crazy whacked out neighborhood we lived in. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that was pretty. It was like South Central LA
Oh my
ghetto,
God.
you know.
Well,
And I lived there, so I it's not. I'm not just throwing like
no.
a name. I've actually lived in South Central, so and it was pretty. That section was pretty ghetto-y.
Yes, and it was ghetto, and I didn't really fear about it too much because it was like the outskirts of the neighborhood. But then, like one day, I had realized that somebody tried to get into my window because the screen was halfway up on my window.
Yeah.
I was like, glad I shut my windows last night. But yeah, it was
pretty messed up.
That was messed up, but
it wasn't all bad, right?
no,
Because on some deployments with Lonnie, like I stayed like, so he left, I stayed, he came back, then I left.
Yes.
So we got to hang out.
Yeah.
And
You and me and Solemn and any of the new recruits that would come through, like Luke and
oh my
Junker.
God. I have
and
not
Brown.
I've kind of forgotten about Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah.
All those people. It was fun hanging out with everybody. I was constantly going out with you guys and just making big group activities and stuff when he was gone, trying to just keep my mind off of it.
Yeah. And it wasn't anything like weird. Like we didn't like I know like some people would get in trouble for going out with like other like airmen's wives or whatever, and it's like we're like just like no, we're friends. Just,
right.
It's like a dude with long hair.
Thanks.
Sorry, I'm just. But I don't know. It was just one of the things. Like when, like at least for me, like you know, like Lonnie always treated me like a brother. So it was just like, you know, it was kind of like an automatic thing. It's like, well, you know, you're my brother's wife, so yeah, I gotta take care of you.
And he knew he could trust his friends, so he wanted me to go and hang out with you guys and get out, and it did. It kept my mind off of things. And
yeah. How many deployments did you do with him?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Shit, that's 6 months, essentially.
Yeah, I think one of them though he went for almost 3 months, and I want to say that was the first one that when we were together.
Mm.
Yeah, that was the first one because he didn't get he had left. Like July, sometime in July, and he didn't get back till like almost the end of October.
Oh, that's when I got to see him. I guess for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he left, and yeah. I remember that. And the reason why our deployments were short is because we were flyers, so we have a limit on the amount of hours that we can fly. Right. And we were flying a lot.
Yes.
Like
oh my
gosh. I remember on that one when I got him for like the last 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
I actually could not fly back as a crew member. I had to fly back as a passenger because I went over my limit twice.
Oh my gosh.
So we have a limit, and then you can have a waiver to bump it up for an extra 100 hours or whatever. I went over that one, and then I got a waiver to finish the deployment, and then it's like done. You can't fly. So for about when I came back for about a month and a half, I was not flying at all. and when I finally flew, like I hook up Mike with a bottle of Captain Morgan, and he sent me to Vegas, so that was great.
Oh my gosh.
and then after that one, I put in my Palace Chase paperwork, I think, and so I didn't play anymore.
Oh wow.
So yeah. That was a sneaky
Yeah,
bastard.
there was one deployment, and I don't remember which one it was. It might have been our second one, his second one with me, that he was gone all the time, and I was so upset because I was like, you're supposed to call me, you never call me. It'd be like 3 or 4, maybe it was the last one. I think it was the last one when we were married, because I was expecting to get phone calls from him. Like, I'm sitting here trying to time it out because he would call me before a flight, and I would time it out, and then I wouldn't hear from him for like 3 days. And I'm just like, ugh. And he'd be like, well, I'm sorry, baby. I had to fly. I had a 12-hour flight or whatever. I had to go back, sleep, and then we were out again. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Kill me now.
Yeah. I had a couple of flights like that where, you know, you come in for, it's like a 10-hour flight. And you know, the 10-hour flight implies that there's 2 hours before and 2 hours after, right? So it's a 14-hour day,
right? And
then, so you do that, and then you have 10 hours, a 10-hour gap for you to like show up for a next flight,
right?
And then so like I remember my crew was over their hours or getting like close to being like over their hours, so they're like, oh well, in order to reset you'll just be on alert. So because you know the odds of sending the alert crew is they're pretty slim or whatever. Each and every single time I got put on alert, we launched. Either somebody else broke or they added a sortie, and I think one of them was actually in an actual alert response.
Wow.
So I was like, and all of them were, you know, 10 to 12 hour flights. So it was just like, oh my God.
That's awful. But I liked alert. I think the last alert that the last deployment Lonnie was on and he was on alert it was like heaven, because he actually had a phone in his like room area.
We did have a phone on the alert room.
Yeah.
And we were told like, yeah, keep it to 15 minutes or whatever. I can't remember the limit. I honestly cannot remember the limit.
I think that one was 15 minutes.
And then, but nobody ever did it.
Yeah, no.
Like, everybody stayed there for like 3 hours and stuff. Just like,
right.
But we will get talked about it. So, but you're like, bro, like, you know,
yeah,
you're sending us out here, fucking desert.
You're giving us a phone.
Yeah. It's kind of hard.
We're gonna call people. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to not do it. So
it was nice. Those were some nice times.
We're in round 2, Stelly. Round 2.
Who's winning so far?
Let me see the score. Sorry, I'm not really watching it. I'm just like,
there's not really scores on boxing, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Until the end?
No, there is. Well, somebody's tallying them. You don't find out till the end, but people tally. Actually, this is actually round 3.
Oh, okay.
They're not showing who won the fight. Oh, there we go. 10-9, 10-9 in favor of Canelo.
There you go.
Yeah. So Canelo's winning, according to... Well, and the score that they show you here is the commentary guys tallying them up. You don't ever see the judges' scores, ever.
Of course not.
So that's why I
don't think you've ever been able to see the judges' scores, have you?
Not in boxing, no.
No.
So that's why I think it's you know, bias, or it could be bought, or it's corrupt.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of fights with like Mayweather where you're just like, no way.
Right.
Like like no way. I'm not denying
that he was clearly robbed.
Yeah, like I'm not denying that he's a great fighter, but like there's like 2 or 3 fights where you're just like like no.
Right.
But you know, can't do anything about it. And speaking of boxers, I actually saw a stray dog this morning. I went to the store. It's a stray dog. Just lying there in the middle of the street. Like a fucking boss. The fucker did not move.
Really?
He was like, they're like, yeah, I'm lying here in the middle of the street. I'm like taking a nap. Screw you.
Make me move.
Yeah, and I honk, and the dog just looked at me.
Wow.
Seriously, like he just looked at me and like I'm not fucking moving.
He didn't even move.
So I drove around him.
Yeah.
All I could imagine was Snoop Dogg playing in the background, and then the glasses from Thug Life coming towards down this dog. As he's just like lying there enjoying what little sun was out today.
Oh my gosh.
Like la 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 la, and the glasses just going down.
Yep.
I swear to God, this fucking dog. I was like, dude, like boop, and he just like he didn't move, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna go around, and he's just looking at me, and I just picture the freaking glasses coming down.
That's probably what he just said. You ain't gonna kill me.
I wish I had this like tape, you know, like on video. I would have actually made the video, like the freaking glasses just coming down.
That would have been funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Chavez.
No, but that makes me think about...
Chavez has a bloody nose.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
No, that's sad, though. Dogs in the street makes me think about the dog I hit.
You hit a dog?
I did.
I've hit a dog before.
I don't remember what it was, but... okay, so I think Lonnie and I were... we were dating or we had just married. I don't know. But, we were driving on that back road. Remember that back road that goes from Airway Heights to Spokane?
Yeah. I remember.
Okay. We were driving right before you go up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dog in the road, and I slammed on my brakes as hard as I could, but I still hit the dog. And I was so scared. I pulled over, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was screaming and crying, and Lonnie's like, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, look under the car. Is there a dog under there? Am I dragging him? Like, it was so bad because, I mean, that car was really low. It had, like, I don't know. It was an old Oldsmobile.
Mm-hmm.
Cutlass Supreme. So it was, like, it was really low, like, in the front. I don't know what that is. It's not like it's a body kit or anything, but, like, fog lights were real low on it and everything. And I swore, I was like, that dog was way too big to go under my car. There's no way that I'm not dragging it, like, or that it's dead on the road. We drove by a couple times, and the dog wasn't there. And we looked on the car a couple times, too, because I'm like, are you sure the dog is not under my car? It was a pretty big dog. Like, when I saw it, it looked like its back was, like, higher than the top of my car. But we never saw it. I hit it and we never saw it. And I was like, oh, what if it like went and died somewhere? I would feel so bad. Just like their owners found it dead somewhere. Like
I saw the one we hit. It was I think it's raining.
It sounds like it's raining.
You know what? Let's take a break. I think I'm gonna put my puppy I'm gonna get my puppy inside. So
okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Hold on. And we're back. Sorry about that. We're leaving the puppy outside, so but it's raining, so he's going into the the washer and dryer room. So I put some puppy pads. That's why it took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
So
you hit it. You said you hit a dog.
Oh yeah, we hit a dog. This was like way back in the day when I was younger. Actually, I went with a friend took me to TJ, and so we were out. We went out partying, and I think I went to one of like those massage parlors or something. I can't remember. I'm kidding. It's like TJ. No. We actually we went out to I don't know if you guys like have one of these like in the States, but we went to Senior Frogs.
We have them.
Yeah, so we ended up going to Senior Frogs. It was like it was open bar, and I just wanted to get out. So
Yours is different than ours.
why?
Ours is more like a fast food chain.
Okay, no, Senior Frogs here in Mexico, it's a bar, it's a nightclub.
Okay.
But you can order food during the day, so it's a restaurant. It's a restaurant during the day, but at night it's a nightclub, strictly nightclub.
Oh wow.
So,
okay.
And so I think we went to Senior Frogs, and I may or may not have visited one of those massage parlors. But anyways, on the way back, I can't neither confirm or deny. So on the way back, we're going downhill, and this dog, it's in the middle of the street, like not where we're driving, but like in between, because it's a 4-lane road, right? So you have 2 oncoming, and then 2 through traffic, and he's like in between, like a normal person would stand while they're waiting to go across the street. And so we see the dog make eye contact with us, and he's like, "Nope, I'm going for it." So
Wow.
they tell you, right? Like, it's like deer, you gotta accelerate. You can't. You hit the brakes, you're risking your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did that. We accelerated.
Brakes.
We didn't hit the brake.
Oh,
no,
okay,
we accelerated.
Okay.
And we just I remember seeing the dog coming from the side, from the driver's side, and it's just like a little turn to the right, and we just caught it with the edge on the edge of the car, and it was just like thunk, and it was just like blood.
Oh my god.
Blood just went up to the windshield, and then we stopped, and the headlight was broken, like done, and the dog was just like, yep, there it is. Like, and I think my friend was more pissed off that his car got ruined rather than killing a dog. I was more of like, that poor dog.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. Give me a cat. I'll kill a cat any day, not a dog.
We just got in a rub and a tug, and it's like all of a sudden you end your night with, killing a dog.
I thought you couldn't confirm or deny that.
I'm just adding flavor to the story.
Kidding.
Right. I'm just saying, like, imagine yourself going to get a rub and a tug, and then your night ends with killing a poor animal.
Sounds like a good movie.
I know. Like, the story should end at, like, we got a rub and a tug, and then we went to bed. Or had a shot of tequila, and I went to bed, or whatever. Or even better, when I came home, my wife is waiting for me with some tacos. I mean, that's kind of like a movie story. It's a messed up one, but
not these days, dude.
No, I would have confirmed, like, that didn't happen. Okay, like I was single. It was like the second time I came from the Air Force, like on vacation.
Right.
So yeah, I was free to do whatever the fuck I wanted. just throwing it out there. But killing a dog was not on my checklist, so it definitely wasn't. And I felt so bad. I was like, yeah.
But that's why I say I'd rather kill a cat.
Well,
cat, yes. I'm actually gonna aim for the fucking cat.
I mean,
I hate cats.
I don't hate him. I think I've told you this before. I used to love cats. Like, I had a cat. I had 2 cats, actually. I had a mom that would just like stand like outside my window, and I would give her I would get like those I would pieces of ham and roll them up, and like my screen had a hole, so I would put it through there, and the cat would just reach and grab it and just eat it. So, and then that cat had a litter, and one of the cats, and I ended up keeping it. And then when I turned like 13, I think it was 12. Yeah, I think it was 12. I just started having allergic reactions to them, and now I can't be near a fucking cat.
Mm-hmm.
Although
bad.
I NLP myself, so I think I'm over it.
Well, I would hope
but
so.
I don't have cats around to like test them, you know. So
right. Ugh.
But I was a cat person. I
lived in
wasn't a dog person.
Oh, not me. I don't like cats. I've never liked cats. They drive me nuts, and I'm allergic to them anyway, so don't get me near them.
You can fix that.
No. No thanks. I'd rather be allergic to them because I can't stand them. Like when we moved in this apartment, they had cats or something here because when we turned on the air conditioners, my eyes were all puffy and I was plugged up and it was just awful. I felt like crap because of the cat, whatever they had in this apartment before. It was awful. Just awful.
I see you wrote that white cats are literally Satan here.
I didn't write that. Lonnie wrote that. I don't think they're literally Satan. I think they're playmates of the devil.
What?
That's all. Yes.
Oh.
We went to my aunt's house. Okay. So right after Lonnie and I got married, we went to my aunt's house to watch my cousin while they had gone on some kind of a cruise somewhere. So we were there for like a week. And I just remember like getting ready for bed and her cats were on her bed sitting there playing with the demons in her house.
You know what? I'm going to ask the audience about this because I believe that there's nothing sexier than a woman dressed as a cat or purring like a cat.
What is wrong with you?
While you're just like going to town, you know?
TMI.
I'm just saying, if you're a woman and you have like the Catwoman outfit going on and you know you're just going at it hardcore and she's just going or meow.
That wouldn't have anything to do with Halle Berry, would it?
Maybe. I'm just saying.
Hollywood, it influenced your brain.
I'm just saying, there's nothing sexier than that. Like, when was the last time like you had somebody like, you know, going doggy style and going? No, I'd be like, yeah.
So then why does a cat thing okay?
Exactly, like, because a cat is sexy. You're like, rawr.
No.
Yeah? Every time you put it in Hollywood or whatever, and somebody does like a little cat face, like, rawr. It's a sexy face.
That makes
you don't ever go. You don't ever go. Somebody go like, like a dog, you know.
That's animals. Nothing is sexy about animals.
No, I'm not saying the animal is sexy. I'm saying acting like a cat is sexy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, they're
Whatever.
not... No, they're not Satan's minions or whatever.
They totally are. They play with them.
I
My dogs
think it's
bark
totally
at him.
sexy.
My dogs bark at him.
Catwoman outfit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to give myself for my birthday. Catwoman outfit. It's gonna be a gift to me, to my wife, but it's more for me.
You have issues.
You're the one who has issues if you don't think a cat is
No.
sexy. Yeah.
Hey, my husband doesn't either.
You should purr next time. see.
He'll be like, "Don't ever do that again." Trust me. I know my husband. We don't do that.
Oh, you should.
That just
I
gets
think you
weird.
should.
No.
Yeah, like
No.
put some like some spark in the
That's not spark.
Yeah, that is.
No, that's some weird funky shit that's like, never.
I mean, he did take some tips from Sir Jag, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You can have one from me.
That's a little bit different. We can kind of delve into that a little bit, but I'm not gonna go with the cat, the animalistic shit.
I'm not. Who's saying it's gotta be animalistic? I'm not saying involve any animals of any type. All right, that's zoophilia. That's something completely different from what I'm talking about.
No. And that's not what I'm saying either, but I can't do the noises and stuff like it. That's just weird to me. I can't do it. It's weird to Lonnie, too. Go!
I heard there's some, whatchamacallit, like places where they're not necessarily like BDSM clubs, but they're like made like studios, right? So you can go in if you have a fantasy or whatever, and they'll make a porno. Like you have professional, like a professional camera crew type thing, and you go with your significant other or whomever you can convince of making a porno with you, and you can act out the your fantasy that you have.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird though.
A little bit. I mean,
I would never want to see myself.
You kind of have to perform with a camera crew, but
that'd be weird.
But it's like spice things up. You can.
That's
you
not.
Can, you can make your own porno.
That's being weird.
What? I wouldn't mind watching my own porno with somebody that I
You are so weird, Zuri.
First, it's somebody that wants to have sex with me, right? And second, she's gonna be in it too, so it's not like she can judge.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I'm just saying.
I know. No. Mm-mm.
There will be there will be a
down.
link below. No, I told people it was gonna get better. Like, yeah, we started so depressing. Like, have we crossed that edge already? Should I tone it down now?
Yeah, let's tone it down. Let's talk about the worst place to have a candlelit dinner. Let's start with the romance, the foreplay, the wine and dine.
I'm already like closing here. You're going for worst place to have a candlelit dinner.
Yeah.
Public restroom.
Really? That is the worst place?
I think so.
Well,
I mean, have you ever been to like a train station bathroom?
Okay, but if you're gonna do that, you gotta be specific. Yes. No, I've never been to a train station
They're
bathroom.
fucking nasty.
Okay. Like a subway bathroom?
Well, it depends on the subway, because I've been to some pretty yuppie subways.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I've never been to New York. I've been to the Boston subways, but I've never used the bathroom.
For a reason.
And the Boston... Yeah.
For a reason.
But, no. I don't know, though, because, honestly, like, when we were there, the Boston subways didn't seem so bad. At all. So...
I don't know. I mean, is that where this question was going, though? Like...
No, the worst place to have a candlelit dinner. Okay, bathroom? Yeah, quite possibly.
I mean, well... Actually, I think it's kind of a genius plan to have it in the bathroom. Let's say you have, like, facing toilets, right? And in the middle you have a table. And you have, like, I don't know, some, like, crazy Indian food that, at the moment it comes in, it's going to come out.
Gosh.
Then it's conveniently placed.
That just gets into the whole idiocracy thing.
I know. I know. Holy shit, you're right.
Just sit there, watch TV, and you can shit all day long.
You got your shitter.
You got your food tube.
If you've never seen Idiocracy before, go watch that movie right now. That movie's amazing.
It's hilarious.
You will get this reference. Oh my god, that is so true though.
No. This one in your ear, this one in your mouth, this one up your butt.
Wait.
No, this one in your
This one up your butt.
Ew.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Bad.
No, well, I mean, grossness aside, I think the worst place is to have it in the bedroom. Like, not like
Yeah,
not
because then that's you're
yeah,
like
like not going
expecting it,
like gross or like
right?
kind of taking
When you're expecting.
it with a little bit of seriousness. I would say the bedroom. It's the worst place.
Right. Because what happens if, like, all of a sudden she's on her period and you can't do anything? That would be really horrible. Have
like-
this ingenious
like
plan
stories.
and she can't do anything.
It's like story of my life, right?
Hey, you're lucky your wife has a period on a normal basis.
No, she doesn't actually.
You can have PCOS.
No, she doesn't. She's been like the past two pregnancies, it just her hormones have been all over the fucking place. I think she's finally getting into like a better like a cycle. It's some sort of cycle, but it's still like she used to be like on the dot, like that was like the what was it, like the 19th 20th is like off limits, like don't even come like I'm like all right. But now it's been erratic, which like, to be honest, not that I'm against like females, but man, like being a woman is so fucking hard. Like
you're telling me,
dude. I'm like, seriously, I'm glad I have a fucking penis, because being a woman is like it's just way too much work. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
And like I said, I don't know how bad it gets. I mean, does it really get that bad? Where, like, during those days where everything like just bothers you, or it's just like extremely emotional?
What do you mean? Not for me, because I deal with my emotions very well. But for other women, they can't handle it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just yeah. I think that's all I have to say. There's just really not much I can say. It's just it fucking sucks, and I don't like it. Like, and if I was a woman, I would, if I were to turn into a woman knowing what I know right now, it's just like, no, that's too much fucking work. Like, if I ever, if there's more life than this, and you get to choose to come back as a woman or a man, I'm always picking man. I don't care if I'm like homeless or poor or like you have to be a slave. I'm coming back as a dude.
God, for real. I pick man. I want to be a man. I wouldn't have to worry about all this woman stuff. I wouldn't have to be the one getting, all these different, like, disorders and stuff because I've had 4 kids and I could lose weight so much easier. Dude, if I was a guy, I would be skinny and ripped. Or not skinny, but just ripped and, like, healthy. Because that's easy for you guys to lose weight.
I mean, it is for some people. It's not all of them. That's kind of a myth.
But, well, for most of you, just because of the way your bodies work.
Yeah.
I get that the mental thing is still there. Like, you still have to mentally fight with yourself, but...
I mean, let's just say we can get away with eating more crap that you can't. Because it really just, it comes to diet, right? It's not just exercising.
Yeah.
But
right.
But men do we kind of get like a free pass on like certain stuff that we can eat that doesn't fuck up with.
Right.
Although, eat too much, hormone chicken and stuff, and you're just getting more estrogen in your body, so you get the moods. And, women, more estrogen means you get fucking cysts and shit and myomas. No, it's just, yeah. And unfortunately, like, I think it's nature's way of controlling population, though. Because think about it, if junk food was healthy, everybody would be healthy, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why they make it I think that's why nature makes junk food taste so fucking good, because it's its way of saying, I need to get rid of some of you with heart attacks and stuff.
But nature doesn't do that. People do that. People make that shit.
Well, no,
bag
but
it up and give it to
but the
you.
resources come from nature, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
saying.
that doesn't.
I'm
No,
just saying.
you
If
can't
if
say
nature
that.
wanted you alive, nature would make kale taste so much fucking like a cheeseburger instead of, you know, that bitter taste that kale has. Just saying.
But that's why humans are evil, because we do that to ourselves.
How are we evil? No.
Yes.
We're not evil.
Yes. Oh, really?
We're just
They
just
don't
using
say-
the resources
Here.
available.
To make good
exactly.
shit taste good.
I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm just saying we're using resources. I'm not saying it's right. We're just saying we're using the resources we have
But that's
available.
not. But that's not nature making itself taste good. That's humans making nature taste
well,
good.
yeah. I mean, but it came from nature. The point is, it came from nature.
Most of it. Then you get all the chemicals
Yeah.
and the artificial this and that. And
It's just like, I'm gonna make you taste even better, cow. So,
let's add some sugar.
yeah, but it's really messed up. I know, but that's how I feel sometimes, though. Like, you know, as I'm stuffing like this big juicy Carl's Jr. burger, like I should probably just eat the lettuce that comes with this burger instead. But I don't do it. So,
it's true.
no, but you know, there's a salad that they sell at Costco that I was eating like every day before I started going to Westview, and then, you know, once I started coaching, like it's like no more, because like I said, I had like 12-hour days, so I had no time to go to Costco and buy like the stuff, and so
right.
But when I was just doing like a salad a day, I mean, and that's all. I haven't changed any of my other eating habits. I just incorporated one healthy meal a day. Dude, it makes a fucking difference.
When you're a guy.
No, I mean, even I would say even if you're a woman, like if your diet is shitty and you just switch one meal to a healthy one, that's better than no healthy meals at all. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
And like I said, is you're just putting habits. Lonnie. So I know you guys can't see, but Lonnie's in the background, just like rubbing himself. He's like not wearing his shirt. He's just like rubbing his stomach.
Oh gosh.
Hi everyone.
That's to show you that he actually can talk, and he's just not. He didn't just bail on us. So, yeah.
Anyways, we should maybe wrap this up.
All right. Like, what time is it? Are we?
Hour and 27.
About an hour and a half. All right. Oh shit, man! I don't know how Lonnie reads this crap.
Okay.
All right.
You want me to try it, or
No, you can go for it. That's a lot of reading.
Okay.
Like,
all right, I'll do it. This episode of the Nothing Better to Listen To podcast can be downloaded on iTunes or Google Play, or directly from shoutengine.com. And be sure to leave us a review if you enjoyed this episode, or even if you didn't enjoy it. We'd love to hear from our audience. Our bumper music is provided by bensound.com. And be sure to like us on Facebook, talk to us on Twitter at NBTLT Podcast, or you can always send us an email with questions or comments at nbtltpodcast@gmail.com. Lastly, the NBTLT Podcast has a new Reddit home at reddit.com/r/NBTLT. And we also now have a website.
yes, we do.
It's NBTLT
Podcast.com.
podcast.com.
And end it with a purr, like a. Just
no,
do
I
it.
am not gonna
I guarantee you will have more hits if you just add that purr at the end. You said
Not
it's
gonna
like,
happen.
like a little cat, like a sexy cat, like meow,
I told you I don't do that stuff.
meow.
You do it.
I can't do it. Like most of our artists are probably guys, so just the fact that you read there, they're going like, "Oh, that sounds so sexy." No, add that purr. It's the kitty cat. It's the kitty cat. you fucking
Oh my
freak
God.
fucks. You know you're out there.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
I'm
Stelly,
good.
it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hope it was good for you as it was for me.
Whoop, whoop. Lonnie will be next week.
Yeah.
He'll be back
I'm
next week.
and I'm still trying to get my friend as a guest. It's life, dude. Like, sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Can't seem to like get in tune with people's life and just get like
Right.
it's just like, oh, you want me to make plans on Saturday night? Like, yeah, okay.
It's
Yeah,
difficult.
it's really hard. Like we pick the most inconvenient day for everybody else to like do it. So on that note, I think we can end it. All right.
Alrighty.
All right. Peace, yo.